Okay, we're about to get Supergirl on the big screen, and I thought, hey, I better check out Superman 2025. Let's talk about it. So last year, James Gunn rebooted the DC universe, the DCU, and we had that shit show of a last DC universe, which I love Man of Steel. Disclaimer, I think Man of Steel is pretty damn good. I saw it in the cinema, I really enjoyed it, massively underrated, and I really, really liked Henry Cavill as Superman. I grew up with Superman the movie. It is still in my top list of movies of all time. Superman 2 is also fantastic. Then we had two more. Let's not talk about those ones. And we also had Superman Returns as well, actually, in that. I completely forget about Superman Returns, and that was dog shit too. But Man of Steel was great. And then everything that followed in the DC universe was very mediocre to pretty damn awful. And so they decided to, they got to a certain point, they couldn't go further with it, and they rebooted it, right? So now we have James Gunn off the back of Guardians of the Galaxy and that popularity in the MCU. Now, this isn't a good start for the DC universe. I'm not gonna lie. I did not like this film. Now, it's weird because you look at the Rotten Tomato score, and both audiences and critics love this movie. Reviews I've seen love this movie, and I do not understand why. So please comment with your reasonings why this is a good movie, because hey, look, I grew up with, again, like I say, with Superman the movie, and that movie to me was fantastic. It had all the cheesy comic book moments. We had Christopher Reeve's Superman, which was fantastic, as well as Clark Kent, and we had obviously a great performance as Lois Lane, and just so much great stuff in that. A great score, a great origin story too. You can't doubt that that's a good movie. Where to start? Because I appreciate this is more reflective of the source material, the comics, right? Very colourful movie. Very colourful movie. Doesn't take itself as serious as Man of Steel did. Man of Steel tried to take that Dark Knight edge, right? But the actual original Superman the movie felt grounded while having so much heart and a stellar cast. We had Gene Hackman as Luthor. Now that is one of the big problems with this movie, is that Nicholas Hoult to me is not Lex Luthor. It is a really bad casting to me, and I just didn't buy it the entire movie. My issue is it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy, this movie. And again, I love Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 3. I didn't like 2 all that much. It was fine, but 1 and 3 I love. But this movie has poorly timed humor, cheeseball dialogue, and this movie is poorly paced as well. I was clocked out halfway through. Full of vomit-inducing CGI. I just don't like the CGI in this movie, down to a CGI depiction of Crypto, the dog. And I don't think the dog needs to exist. I know this is a comic book thing, and I know fans of Superman love the dog. I just don't buy it. A CGI dog flying around, I just do not buy it. And I mean, you would probably say, yeah, but you fully buy a man flying around with his underwear on in the wrong way. I get it, right? But no. There's something about the original Superman and the actual decent side of Superman that works, and it has to be grounded. It has to be grounded for it to work. Considering it's a Superman film, there is so much focus on other characters. We didn't need those extra characters. Like you're trying to build a DC universe before you're out the door with your first damn movie. Look at Iron Man. Iron Man was a perfect start for the MCU. You've got to be a good movie first and foremost. Green Lantern is an abysmal version here, and I hated the last one. They kind of use John Williams' iconic score, but they kind of don't, and you can't half-bake that score. Either use it or don't. It's too iconic to mess with, and they do that here. And they keep going back to this punk rock dialogue. It's mentioned a couple of times in the movie, like your dad. It feels like your dad trying to pretend he knows what punk rock is. You know what I mean? Like, Lois Lane saying, I'm not punk rock. What the fuck? This film is also really, really messy. The opening is horrible. It's just a bunch of text saying, 3 years ago, Superman arrived. And 3 years ago, he did this. And 3 years ago, that happened. 3 days ago, he lost his first battle. And it's just like, I don't know. No, you don't need to do that. That's exposition right out of the gate. Look at the original movie. The way that movie opens, spot on. We skip over an origin story of his being raised on a farmyard, and yeah, you could say, oh, we've seen this before. Fine, but the movie has to have heart. It has to be grounded for this story to work for me, and this didn't work. To the point where they explain how Clark Kent can be Clark Kent without people recognizing him as Superman. That was a whole entire plot hole in the original movies, right? But who cares? If your movie's that good, it doesn't matter. It's Superman. There's no stakes because you know Superman ain't gonna die. They don't kill off Lois Lane. The dog's gonna be fine because we've seen him in the trailer for Supergirl. So what's the stakes? You know the Earth ain't gonna get blown up by some evil force. What I liked about Man of Steel is Superman got beat multiple times by the aliens, right, that came to Earth. The dominance they had over the Earth, the stakes. If Superman couldn't save the day in Man of Steel, shit would have gone down. In this, if Superman loses, well, you've got a whole bunch of other heroes to sort it out. There's no stakes. I totally dread Supergirl. This is, to me, the DCU right now is dead on arrival, unless Supergirl can convince me otherwise. We do have Clayface coming, and to me, I don't identify with Clayface. I don't really know the source material, so we'll see. I like horror movies. Hopefully that one can pull something out, but is Clayface going to be the staple of your DCU? No. We know that the Batman movies that Matt Reeves is doing is a separate universe. So who's going to play Batman? Like, what are they going to do with Batman? I worry. Is it going to be as bad as Batman and Robin? Who knows? Could it be worse? Who knows? But anyway, this movie was not good. I had a terrible time watching this one. I just thought it was a nothing. It was a nothing. That's what it was. I would actually say not even, it wouldn't even be good with booze. I would say this movie is the ultimate turn. It's the worst Superman. I would rather watch Superman: A Quest for Peace. Can't believe I've never said that. I've never said that. I've said Jaws Revenge. That's fine, but I've never said Quest for Peace. Shit. I just didn't buy any of it. Didn't like any of the characters. Didn't give a fuck about any of the characters. Didn't even think Lois Lane was great in this movie. When she was like the heart of the Superman original movie, and even Man of Steel, you know, I thought she was a great Lois Lane in that. And this movie's not good. Please tell me why you think this movie's good. Please, someone tell me that I'm wrong. Guys, let me know what you thought of the movie down in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Am I talking out my ass? Let me know. I'd love to know any of your thoughts. I'll see you with a review for Supergirl. I don't have much hope for it, but we've got to check these things out. Give it a chance. Let it flourish. Yeah. Cheers, guys.